Hey guys, this is Cinder and welcome back to the channel where we talk about fitness and style. So meron ka bang binabalak na bilhin na accessory para sa gym? So kung gusto nyong i-level up yung inyong pagbubuhat sa gym at may binabalak kayong bilhin na accessory, panoorin nyo ito. So marami pa rin tayong nakikita sa mga local gym natin na mahilig gumamit ng mga accessories. At oo, maraming magagandang accessories na available sa market. Ang problema, madalas mali ang paggamit ng mga tao dito sa mga accessories na ito. So yun po ang pag-uusapan natin sa video na ito. My personal recommendations for accessories and how to properly use them. So konting disclaimer lang po. You can absolutely crush it in the gym without having to buy any accessories. Walang ni isa sa accessories na ito ang kailangan nyo talaga para mag-progress sa gym. So there are so many lifters and athletes who were able to make very significant progress without having to buy or use any of these accessories. And also, hindi po ako doktor, hindi rin ako personal trainer. I'm just a guy who loves strength training and this is my own personal opinion. So take it with a grain of salt. So ang isang malaking misconception sa mga accessories na ito ay ginawa sila for injury prevention. Although yes, it is true in a sense that they are there to prevent injury. But in my perspective, accessories are there to reinforce parts of the body that present themselves as weak links during our lifts. So let's get down into the details. So number one na nakikita natin sa gym na mali ang paggamit ay yung belt. So I have a few examples here. Usually there are two kinds of belts that we see. The nylon belts, which are made of cloth and velcro, and powerlifting belts, which are made of leather, katulad ng mga to. So bakit ko nasabi na mali ang paggamit? So ito yung mga madalas na nakikita natin na scenarios. So there's a guy lifting, tapos medyo may nararamdaman na siyang sakit sa likod niya, saka lang siya magsusuot ng belt, siguro para mawala yung sakit. Meron din yung nagbibihis pa lang at magwa-warm up pa lang, nakasuot na siya ng belt. Hanggang sa tapos na yung workout at magko-cool down na siya, suot-suot niya pa rin yung belt. At meron pa yung narinig ko na sa chest day niya daw, magsusuot daw siya ng belt para hindi lumapad yung kanyang waist, para lahat ng gains sa chest lang mapupunta. So gaya nga ng sabi ko, ang gamit ng mga accessories kagaya ng belt ay para lang ma-reinforce yung weak link sa ating katawan. So in this case, we are talking about big, heavy, actually loaded compound movements. Actually loaded meaning you are standing up and the load is bearing on you vertically. So in that case, ang weak link doon is our core, our abdomen. So two keywords that I want you guys to look up is intra-abdominal pressure and the Valsalva maneuver. So these two are key terms that lifters use to reinforce their core during heavy standing movements. Intra-abdominal pressure is when we create pressure in our abdominal wall or our core using air. And Valsalva maneuver is the breathing technique where you would see lifters breathe like basically holding your breath in. So kung isipin nyo nga naman dito sa core ng ating katawan, all we have is our spine and some organs. So we don't really have much muscle or bone to support the weight. That's why we use air. So wearing a belt along with applying the Valsalva maneuver against the belt will give you a really sturdy and rigid core that can handle heavy weights. So again, this does not promise that your spine is safe from injury. Marami pa rin yung nai-injure na nakasuot ng belt. I know I have. But the belt does promise better technique, a tighter Valsalva maneuver, and maybe a little more weight. So having said that, putting a belt on your waist shouldn't feel comfortable kasi masikip talaga siya. Yung gusto kong sikip niya is yung makakalusot lang ako ng isang finger between my stomach and the wall of the belt. So because of this, you're only supposed to put the belt on during the heavy set. So it doesn't make sense to keep the belt on during the whole workout. So gaya nga ng sabi ko, most people only use belts for movements that are actually loaded, like squats, deadlifts, overhead presses. Although yes, pwedeng gamitin during bicep curls and tricep pushdowns, pero nadi-defeat na yung purpose talaga ng belt, which is to create intra-abdominal pressure. So marami tayong klase ng belt sa market. We have lever and prongs. So this is a lever and this is a prong. So my personal recommendations would be to get a lever belt. This is an Inzer Forever kasi mas convenient siyang i-tighten at i-loosen. 4 inches wide and 10 millimeters thick, because this is what I personally use and a lot of people that I know also personally use these kinds of belts. So let's talk about wrist straps. Ito yung number 2 na madalas kong nakikita na mali ang paggamit. Katulad nga ulit ng belt, nagbibihis pa lang sila, nakasuot na sila ng wrist straps. Hanggang sa matapos yung workout nila at nagko-cool down na sila, suot pa rin nila yung wrist straps. So guys, hindi ito bracelet. Ito ang bracelet. Madalas, mali din yung pagsuot nila. May purpose siya kung bakit siya sinusuot. So, i-explain natin mamaya kung paano talaga dapat suotin ng tama ang wrist straps. So, wrist straps were made to reinforce the wrist joint during pressing movements. Take note, pressing. Our pressing movements would be bench press tsaka overhead press. For example, sa mga movement na ito, hawak natin yung bar sa ating kamay at nakaload yung ating wrist. In these kinds of movements, ayaw natin ang tinatawag na hyperextension sa wrist kung saan nakaatras yung wrist na ganito because that can cause injury. Putting a wrist strap on creates a cast. So parang nakakast yung ating wrist para hindi sila mag-bend. So in that sense, medyo exemption yung ating wrist straps. They are actually kind of there to prevent injury. But I'd like to say, marami pa rin ang mga malalakas na lifters na hindi gumagamit ng wrist straps. So again, this will not save you from being injured. This may help you get a little stronger but don't rely on these things for your strength. So bukod dun sa pag-create ng cast sa ating wrist, they also provide warmth and compression. And you know how we like warmth and compression on our joints when we lift. So wrist straps usually come in different lengths. I have a 1 meter long wrist strap and a half meter long wrist strap. So para sa akin, I'd like to have it wrap over my wrist at least 3 times. So papakita ko ngayon kung paano isuot. So they usually come with a thumb loop. Tanggalin lang natin yung relo. So actually yes, gusto natin mag-start sa taas and then we work our way down. So pababa tayo ng pababa. Yan. And then we go back up to lock it in. Tapos, tatanggalin natin yung thumb loop. Yan, so ganito siya. So now my wrist is completely casted. So you want this tight pero not super tight that it will cut off your circulation. So ngayon, super casted na yung wrist ko. I cannot even bend it back. So yun yung gamit ng wrist straps. So you want it to cover a large portion of your wrist. So papakita ko sa inyo yung 1 meter long naman. Kaya ako kumuha ng ganito kahaba eh. So yan, I got around 4 wraps. So this is how it's going to look like. So paano ba natin nakikita na suot ng mga tao yung wrist strap? So ganito nila sinusuot madalas. It's on their wrists really loose. Tapos dito lang sa baba ng wrist. So I can freely move my wrist. So ulit, nadidefeat yung purpose ng wrist strap. You want it to prevent this movement from happening. Hindi siya comfortable. Hindi siya pwedeng suotin ng buong workout. Again, you only put this on during your heavy pressing sets. Some people also like using them for squats kasi kung nakapatong na yung bar sa likod mo, you might have the tendency to hyperextend your wrists as well. So yun, alam nyo na yung tamang paggamit ng wrist straps. Ngayon, pag-usapan naman natin ang straps. So ano ba yung pinagkaiba ng wrist straps sa straps? So this is a pair of straps. As you can see, ibang-iba siya sa wraps. So these are wraps, these are straps. So lifting straps are non-elastic. They should be very sturdy. And the wrist straps are made of elastic material because they're supposed to wrap around your hands. So again, going back to our definition, these accessories are meant to reinforce a weak link. So straps were made for pulling movements. Take note, pulling. Like deadlifts, rows, maybe even pull-ups. So ano yung weak link natin sa mga movement na yon? Grip. Grip would be one of the most common limiting factors in everyone's deadlift. Hindi unusual na makakita ng tao na makaabot ng 2 times body weight deadlift, maybe even 3 times body weight deadlift. And holding all that weight, sometimes hindi kaya ng mga fingers natin. So most people, when they are starting out, deadlift with a double overhand grip where you grip the bar like this. Pero wala kayong makikita ng mga world-class lifters na gumagamit ng double overhand grip. Kasi hindi siya yung pinakamalakas na grip. So habang lumalakas tayo at bumibigat yung weight ng barbell, holding the barbell with a double overhand grip would not suffice kasi yung bar gusto niyang mag-roll down. Gusto niyang mahulog. So, hindi na kaya ng daliri natin na hawakan. The bar would want to slip out and roll down our hands. So, maraming ibang paraan para maiwasan yon. Isa lang dito ang straps. So, using lifting straps would give counter rotation to the bar para hindi siya iikot palabas ng ating kamay. Sa madaling salita, it would prevent the bar from slipping out of our hands. So, having said that, please lang, huwag kayong magbe-bench press na naka-straps. Marami ring iba't ibang klase ng straps sa market. We have the figure 8, we have the single loop, we have the lasso, tsaka yung Versa grip. So ang hawak ko ngayon dito ay lasso. So I like having the long side in and the short side out. Tapos ilulusot lang natin siya. Yan. So this piece of fabric would wrap around the barbell. The bar would want to roll down while this is stopping that from happening. So I like starting on the weak side, which is my left hand. Saka ko i-wrap yung dominant side, my right hand. Yan. So alam nyo na yung gamit ng lifting straps. So yun. Ngayon pag-usapan na natin yung ating mga tuhod. I've had a subscriber ask me for my recommendations for knee support. And of course, I recommended him to get a pair of knee sleeves like the ones I have here. So ganun ulit yung typical na scenario sa ating mga gym. Some guy would squat and feel some pain in his knee, tapos maghahanap siya ng knee support, and most of the time, it's knee wraps. So I'll be honest, I haven't done my own research on knee wraps because I don't use them. I use knee sleeves, which are neoprene sleeves that you insert on your knee. Yung knee wraps, para siyang wrist wraps pero mas mahaba, tapos ibabalot mo siya over your knee. So knee wraps are used by equipped powerlifters to give you an extra bounce at the bottom of your squat. Kung ito yung balak yung gamitin, I really suggest that you do your own research on how to safely use them so you do not injure yourselves. So let's talk about knee sleeves. It's neoprene, almost foamy material that is there to also provide warmth and compression to our knee joints. So personally, I don't really use knee sleeves a lot. I only use it on my really heavy sets. So ang in-offer ng knee sleeves ay compression, warmth, tsaka bounce sa ating knee joints. So actually, masarap silang gamitin sa tuhod. They compress them really nicely and it makes it feel really warm. Marami ring nagsasabi that knee sleeves can actually add weight to your squats because of the bounce that it provides at the bottom. Personally, hindi ko na-experience ito. Ginagamit ko lang yung knee sleeves ko for the warmth and the compression. So the longer the sleeve, the better. The thicker the sleeve, the better. And these ones also have some really nice rubber dito sa likod para hindi siya dumulas pag pinagpapawisan na tayo. So last but not the least, I have this little magical case. Ano kayang laman nito? So let's talk about lifting chalk and baby powder. So obviously hindi pa nabubuksan yung chalk. So this is a question I hear quite often nung bago rin ako. Hindi ko rin to nagagrasp ng maigi. So sana may matulungan ako. So ano yung difference ng dalawang powder na ito? So they seem very similar pero may kanya-kanya silang gamit. So chalk is gritty and rough. Powder is soft and smooth. But both of them absorb moisture. So, kailan tayo gagamit ng chalk at kailan tayo gagamit ng powder? Gumagamit tayo ng chalk sa mga contact points na gusto nating kumapit. So, most cases would be our hands and the barbell during deadlifts, our back and the barbell during squats, and our back and sometimes even our butt when we bench so that we stick to the bench. So kapag naglagay tayo ng chalk, mababawasan yung chances na dudulas. So in that case, kailan tayo gagamit ng powder? So madalas makakakita kayo ng powerlifter kung mag-a-attempt siya ng max deadlift, maglalagay siya ng powder sa kanyang hita. So kapag tayo ay nagde-deadlift, dadaan yung kamay natin sa ating hita. At minsan, kung malagkit yung mga parts na yun, minsan doon pa tayo mahihirapan sa deadlift at minsan hindi na natin kayang i-lock out yung deadlift dahil may friction doon sa parts na yun. So, you'd see people, lalo na kung max deadlift attempts, magpapalagay sila ng powder sa ibang tao sa kanilang hita. Kasi may chalk na yung kamay nila at ayaw nilang maghalo yung chalk sa powder. Para kung nag-deadlift sila, there would be no friction between the thighs and the hands. So, ganun lang siya kasimple. So, a few more extra side notes. Kung binabalak nyong mag-compete sa isang strength sport, please do your own research and read the guidelines of your federations kung ano yung pwede at hindi pwede sa mga competitions na sasalihan nyo. In the case of powerlifting, lahat ng pinakita ko ngayon ay pwedeng gamitin sa competition except yung lifting straps. So, bawal gumamit ng lifting straps during deadlifts. So, do not use any of these accessories as a crutch to cover up your pain. So, if you are experiencing pain, fix your form, manage your load, and see a professional. No amount of accessories will save you from hurting yourself. So yun lang po yung ating video. Sana may natutunan kayo at sana matuto tayong lahat na gamitin yung mga accessories na ito ng tama para lahat tayo ay magpro-progress sa gym. Kung may kilala man kayong naghahanap ng mga accessories na gagamitin nila sa pagbubuhat or gumagamit na ng accessories pero mali ang paggamit, isa nyo sa kanila yung video na ito para matulungan din natin sila. So if you enjoyed this week's video, please comment, share, like, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys soon. Peace!